Supergirl has flopped. It was supposed to be the next big DCEU movie in their lineup with the new Superman movie, and it failed to pull in anywhere near the amount of money it needed to at the box office. Now, I am not one of the people that's out here preying on this movie's downfall, nor am I someone who's a big enough fan of DC Comics to be invested in it or its success, but what I have noticed is this very weird tendency for a certain political group to decide that a certain piece of media is against their political ideology, to rally a bunch of people together who believe in that political ideology and convince them that they're being attacked, and then convince them that that piece of media needs to be actively fought against, whether it be through maligning its reputation or celebrating its financial downfall, if they're able to either make that happen or it happens organically. And we're seeing that happen all over again. I call this method of trying to spot some failing IP and then attribute its failure and the anger that fans are feeling towards wokeness. I call it sinking ship spotting. And I have no doubt we're going to see a lot of that today from Geeks and Gamers in his video about Supergirl, which he's the guy who's making all of those really cringe thumbnails where Millie Alcock looks like a cave woman, and not like a normal cave woman, but like it's that weird AI edit they did. You probably know what I'm talking about.
Damage control is in full effect right now with Supergirl, which is a historic flop, and the studio is doing everything they can to spin that narrative. And as you see, the mainstream outlets right now are trying to say that it could lose up to $100 million, but as OMB Reviews says right here, it's likely to lose over $200 million in all actuality. Now, that's so funny, but what's better is that they don't even want to talk about Supergirl anymore. Oh, no. You know who they want to talk about? Hey, everyone, drop a new Batman.
So now we're going to see the part where they're going to take every little tiny detail they can find relating to this movie release and the people behind it, and they're going to try to attribute everything to some narrative about damage control, hiding information, manufacturing sales, or whatever conspiracy they can drum up to pull more things to talk about, things to pull views off of around this story. None of it is real. None of it is organic. Most of it is just making shit up to get clicks. We've seen this guy do this a million times. Ironically, seems like even most of his fan base has realized this bit because Geeks and Gamers has pulled shockingly few views on this video in a day, like for his channel. I'm not trying to pocket watch him or anything. I'm just saying it seems like the interest from even his following for more attacking Supergirl has kind of waned. It feels like the reason Supergirl failed, at least in the box office, is because people just kind of don't care. Like, it just seems like Supergirl is kind of a spin-off side character that people just don't really care about broadly. I know that I don't really care. And I feel like even among the Chuds, most people don't really care about Supergirl enough to even watch videos like this hating on her. At least not after a week since the movie came out.
Rumor, let's move on from Supergirl. Well, if Batman is so important, why didn't you just make a Batman movie instead of making a Supergirl movie? What type of...
That's how cinematic universes work. You make a movie and then another movie afterwards that isn't the same movie. Because if you made the same movie, then it wouldn't be a cinematic universe, you would just be re-releasing another movie. So would they just make Batman movies forever? Not an argument. He's just trying to make a narrative here.
Idiot would do that. Oh, that would be James Gunn. But magically, out of nowhere, John Campea has the scoop on DCU's Batman, and he's been cast. Such convenient timing for the DC universe right here from John Campea.
Kenobi writes, who is Batman? I think I know who Batman is. I think I know who the DCU Batman is. I think they've cast him.
Wait, who is this guy? Just like a comic book guy? Is this guy just like a comic book fan guy? And this, okay, so this is Geeks and Gamers trying to take this John Campea guy, who I believe is a DCU news creator, influencer, and I believe Geeks and Gamers is accusing him of being part of a conspiracy with DC to launder the reputation of the company. Like, why have these people gotten so comfortable identifying random people and singling them out as targets to attack with their, like, made-up view-grabbing conspiracy theories? At least in the day, it was, like, actresses and voice actresses, always actresses. At least it was celebrities with some level of success and distance from, like, the online landscape. But now they're just including random online creators in their conspiracy theories. He's working with DC to push out DC News. Okay, I guess that's a little bit less insane than if he was just a DC News YouTuber guy. But even then, obviously it's a made-up conspiracy, the idea that they're trying to cover up for the movie that was a failure. Because if I'm being real, wouldn't it make more sense for them to want to draw attention to the movie and get more people to think, you know what, I am up for a superhero movie this weekend. Let's go see Supergirl. Wouldn't they want to not have people move on? I don't know. I could be wrong.
I had somebody write to me about a particular person that they believe it just got cast. I get a lot of those. I don't pay attention to a lot of them. But then I heard from somebody else who's a little bit more well-positioned that verified that it looks like this is the guy. And he doesn't know the first person I talked to at all. So I sent that pic to a Hollywood producer I know. And like, what do you think? So I think I know who it is. I'm not going to say it right now. But I will say this. It's not a name I would have guessed. And I don't think it's a bad name, but it's not a name I would have guessed. Yeah, not a name I would have guessed.
Notice how, by the way, how, like, you've got Geeks and Gamers, like, shaking his head in disappointment, as if now we've gone from it's about hating on the woke movies in Marvel and in DC, and now the entire movement that they're a part of is about destroying Marvel and DC. So, like, they're doing what the Chuds claim to have wanted, right? They're talking about Batman and the new Batman. Who's more masculine? Who's more, like, pandering, or not pandering, but made to make the male gamer bros happy than Batman? Maybe Spider-Man would beat him out, but Batman's pretty up there, bro. So we've got Batman coming. They're making a Batman movie. That's exactly what the kind of thing the Chuds want. Now, we don't know much, but at least on what we know so far, it's checking the boxes for what the Chuds want from DCEU. So why is it that now they're acting like they want this new Batman to fail, or expect it to fail or be bad? Is that not what they wanted? Why does it feel as though now it's about preying on the downfall of all of DC and all of Marvel? Like, wanting the whole thing to fall apart. It's interesting.
I'm going to keep putting out feelers because I don't want to say who I believe is going to be the next Batman until I'm a little bit.
So anyway, John says a whole lot of nothing while saying everything for where Warner Brothers is at. Now, according to Cosmic Book News, rumors are saying Gunn might have his Batman. We're told it could be Tom Brittany. However, there appears to be a wrench in the machine. We're told that there is chaos behind the scenes over Gunn getting to use Batman. The issue has to do with Matt Reeves and his own Batman universe in the movies. Reeves doesn't want anything to interfere with his Batman and has concerns about Gunn. Has been all over the place without a clear plan, say the insiders. So, look, this is a complete shit show right now. James Gunn has no business being in this position at all.
I'm sorry, wasn't the one that he was actually in charge of the one that succeeded immensely? Like, just refreshing everyone's memories here, Superman did massive numbers and had immense cultural impact and was highly, highly rated. That was the James Gunn movie. Supergirl was like, I believe all James Gunn had to do with it was, I guess, being a producer, maybe? But this was not a James Gunn movie. The one James Gunn made was the successful one, so why are we now turning this into James Gunn bad? Oh, because you have to make up a narrative, and he's like your villain character, I see. Remember when these people were pretending to be pro-James Gunn? When James Gunn got fired by Disney because he made some edgy tweets back in the day, and all these people were calling for him to be unfired. But now that James Gunn has done the things they consider to be woke, he's public enemy number one.
Zero. I mean, again, we're looking at a $200 million loss. Superman was not good. I did not like his movie, and I will repeat what I have repeated multiple times.
You're not
I
in the
went into
popular
James
opinion.
Gunn's Superman excited. I went in.
No, he didn't. He made like dozens of hate videos before it came out. I never believe these people when they say that. You can literally look up the thing they say they went into excited and hoping to like, and see they've made dozens of hate videos on it before it even came out, before they ever saw it. Like, am I supposed to believe the people who made 50 hate videos on Rings of Power before a trailer had even released went into the first season with an open mind? No. No, obviously these people who start shit-talking it the second they find out it exists did not go into the movie or show with an open mind and come out of it naturally, organically hating it.
To it optimistic. I wanted to like it. I wanted it to be good. I was willing to give it a chance. It turned out to be a disaster. It's a horrible movie. It was so bad that it made me appreciate Man of Steel a little bit more, and you all know how I feel about that movie. But we are in the danger zone beyond belief right now after Supergirl, and they just keep making it worse. New York Times blames misogyny after...
Wait, so do you want DC to fail or do you want it to succeed? Why do you keep going back and forth between this? Is this like, is Batman like good because it's not going to be woke, or is it bad because it's an attempt to hide past woke failure? What do you want?
Supergirl crashes at the box office. Female-led superhero movies have been rejected almost uniformly over the past 5 years or so, perhaps reflecting on a resurgent misogyny among the core fan base, which is largely male. So I had to respond to this.
Yeah, what is the response? Like, let's say, hypothetically, that across the board, men just decide, no, we refuse to watch any media or support any media or give a try to any media that features a female lead unless she is a sex object. Is that not just a full admittance of being misogynist, or even that the majority of men are just sexist pigs at that point? Like, I refuse to believe what the femcells and, like, the rad femmes say about men is true. That at the end of the day, they will never be able to see women as people and be able to relate with a female protagonist. It seems like a lot of them really want that to be the case, or want me to believe that they can't see a woman as a person, even a fictional one. But I refuse. I refuse to bite that bullet and believe that most men think that way. But is that what he's claiming? Or like, how is it not sexist if just the fact that it's a female character is what's the deal breaker for you? It seems like that's just pure sexism, you know?
I said The Devil Wears Prada 2 made money because it was made for women and they showed up to support it. Same as Barbie. Women aren't interested in female superheroes. Nobody is, generally speaking. Women want to see shit like the first Aquaman. The numbers prove it. Hollywood is retarded, and they absolutely are. Devil Wears Prada with Anne Hathaway and...
So it's that superheroes aren't for girls is basically the message. Like, if you're gonna have a superhero movie, it needs to feature a male character because men can, like, self-insert and women can, like, be like, ooh, ah, muscles. But a female superhero, women don't care about because women don't even really like superhero stuff. Of course, as we all know, women only pretend to like nerd media. That's a real opinion this guy has, by the way. And then, of course, there's... what even is this, bro? Like, yeah, maybe it's true. Maybe women don't like superhero movies, and maybe men hate women as characters, and somehow that's not misogyny.
Meryl Streep and
God.
Emily Blunt made $677 million worldwide. Aquaman 1 made $1 billion. Women don't give a shit about female superheroes. Nobody does. Generally speaking, I know you can find exceptions to the rule. Look at what generally speaking means.
Why does he keep saying no one gives a shit? What he means is it's a deal breaker if the hero is a woman. Explain to me why it being a deal breaker solely because the main character is a woman isn't sexism. Because your big claim is that the woke are insane for accusing gamers and nerds of being sexist, but it seems like you're really trying to argue they are, and that gender really matters to gamers and is a deal breaker on what they're willing to support or engage with.
If you're offended by that statement. But my point here still stands. And they're just making it worse. And look, man, you know, the critics didn't like this movie. Obviously, the audience meter is high, but with the changing of Rotten Tomatoes in recent years, it's always going to be high. If you go to Critic List, it's sitting at a 26% right now. Supergirl flopped one of the worst opening weekends in history, and it's only going to get worse from there. So now they're bringing out the...
My guess would be that unless this movie got review bombed, the reason why its reviews are so low is because it's probably a badly made movie, or it's boring, or nothing happens in it, or any number of other fundamental, somewhat objective complaints you could make about a movie that would make a general audience less likely to want to watch it over, say, Obsession or Toy Story or Backrooms or anything else that's in the theaters right now. I would guess it's one of those reasons, and probably not something like, well, the main character's a woman.
The Batman rumor, because we have to change the conversation. We got to stop them from talking about the disaster known as Supergirl, so we're going to bring out the Batman rumor, but it will not work, and it does not matter. As long as James Gunn is in charge of this universe, you are heading for similar results, no matter who you bring into it. But yes, it is complicated because you have Matt Reeves and his Batman, and I'm not even a big fan of that movie, but it was fine. It was better than James Gunn's Superman. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.
Jesus Christ. So is it, like, there's just absolutely no substance to this guy's content anymore. Great. Like, this is what is so frustrating about the right-wing chuds, though, is they really do LARP as actual media critics, but all they do is wait to see what the popular sentiment is within their echo chamber and repeat that over and over and over again, ad nauseum. But there is a silver lining. People will notice eventually. Eventually, the normies who fall into these traps, even I watched no bullshit videos at one point before one day I was listening to the guy and just realized, man, this guy is just, he's just stupid. And I stopped watching him. And I hope that the same happens for people like Geeks and Gamers. It's happening right now for the quartering. So, let's try to keep our hopes up. No doomering here. Anyway, if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon if you want to see more from me, comment down below to boost the video in the algorithm a little bit, and of course, I hope to see you again in the next one.